guys, welcome back to our channel.
Hey everybody, all you cruisers, we are back again. Wait, we've never been away. It's our first time.
This is our very first time leaving a video outside of cruising together. So we're gonna try and do this like once every other week or something. And today we are going to talk about our
worst cruise ever.
Worst cruise ever.
We've been on 12 cruises altogether, and this is our worst one.
Worst one out of 12.
Yeah, we wrote some notes too, so we wouldn't leave anything out.
Yeah. And let's start this with a caveat. We've loved every single cruise we've been on.
Oh yeah, our worst cruise was the best cruise, but this was the worst of the cruises. I mean, cruising is it's the best thing in the world.
Yeah. So, without further ado, what is the worst cruise we've ever been on? Drum roll. Here, give me the drum roll on my head. It was our 2017 June Norwegian Gem cruise.
Yeah.
It was a week-long cruise. It went to Cape Canaveral, Florida. Then it went to Nassau, Bahamas.
From New York City.
From New York City. Good one, baby.
Yeah.
And then it went to Nassau, Bahamas. And finally, the last port was the Norwegian Cruise Line Private Island.
Yes.
So,
we're going to talk about that.
Got the notes, baby. Got the notes. So,
okay,
wait. Should we start from 6 and go down to 1
Sure.
about why we didn't like it?
Yeah. Good idea. Good idea.
So, number 6, and this probably won't be a problem anymore since everything is switching to high-speed Wi-Fi, but the Wi-Fi was so bad.
I mean, it took me 5 or 6 hours just to get a text. And when I sent a text, it took 5 or 6 hours for the person I was sending it to get it. And forget about streaming. There was no streaming. And it cost an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
So, but we did complain. Well, we voiced our concerns. We didn't complain. We really, truly voiced our complaints.
I know what you're going to say, baby. You're going to say we complained and we got our money back, but we didn't on this cruise. He's thinking of the Norwegian Joy, which had awful Wi-Fi too. That was a little over a year ago, and we complained. All these NCL cruises blend together, right, baby?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I get it mixed up. She's got a better memory than I do. But
anyway, because I make the videos, so I make all the videos and I edit them.
She's got a better memory, and I'm an actor and I learn lines. Go figure that.
Well, he's got a better memory for lines. Okay, so that was number 6. Awful Wi-Fi. Yeah. Like, awful. Number 5. It was our second time cruising that ship.
Yeah, that very same ship.
So let me explain. Our very first time cruising that ship was in like 2014.
Correct.
And it was our very first cruise together as a couple. It was before we were married. And
since we live in New York, it was only a 4-block taxi ride to the pier, so...
Exactly. And I had only been on one 4-day cruise before that on the Norwegian Sky. So the Gem to me was like, oh. And, you know, of course it's always exciting traveling with a loved one. I was roommates with my grandma on the previous cruise.
Oh, right.
So, can you believe it? So, it was our second time, and I mean, for Norwegian, like 1 strike, 1+ for the Gem, it's not their fault. I mean, they couldn't live up to our very first cruise. How were they going to do that?
Oh, right. Yeah.
So, that was number 5.
Yeah.
All right.
Number 4. Private Island. Wasn't that good. Let me tell you why. It was a private island, but there were no umbrellas. Everybody was exposed to the heat.
Yeah, so
hundreds and hundreds of people. Thousands.
Are you done?
Thousands. No umbrellas.
So I don't know if the NCL Private Island is still like this, because the last time we were supposed to go there, the private island stop was canceled due to rough waves.
Oh, yeah, and let me tell you, and I used to be a performer on cruise ships for about 15 years, singer and master of ceremonies, and they said it was rough seas, so we're not going to go to the private island, but we were docked right next to the private island, and I looked out there and saw that the seas were about as calm as they're going to get. And I think well, I know for a fact, because I've been on hundreds of cruises as a performer, that was not rough seas. We should have gone there, and I think it was because they just didn't sell enough tickets to go over there, and it wasn't going to be worth their while.
You're talking about excursions or something?
I'm talking about going to the private island.
Who knows? But
It was mild seas. They said it was rough seas. It was mild.
but we're getting a little off topic because that was when we were on the Norwegian Escape and we didn't get to go. With this cruise, we did get to go, but there was no umbrellas over any of the chairs. In fact, let us know in the comments below if there. He got a little off topic.
See how I get mixed up?
Okay. Let us know in the comments below if the NCL private island in the Bahamas has umbrellas over the seats now.
Yeah, and we answer every single response. So
And by
comment.
by we, Gary means I. So,
I mean, Lori.
I do. I answer every single comment as long as it's not fresh.
Yeah, no fresh stuff.
Okay. So we're already on number 3. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 3, Kennedy Space Center was a letdown. Now let me explain. I'd never been there before. Had you been there before?
Never been there before.
So we were really looking forward to it. Gary especially is like a history junkie, especially in terms of the space race and all of that. And I find it pretty fascinating myself. So we bought the excursion, which was pretty pricey, and we went. And the first part was really cool. We went to...
Yeah, we got to see the space shuttle. We got to see where the astronauts hang out. We got to see the original...
Control center.
Control center. It was so neat.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
I would say that's about the first hour. So we went to like the control center area, which had some other cool stuff, and we were there for about 1 hour. Then after that, we had about 3 hours left. They kind of dumped you off like at the main center part, but they didn't like really give you an itinerary of things to do.
So they just said go.
They said go,
do
which
something.
is fine. But then all of a sudden we're like, okay, well, like let's do this first. But then when we did one exhibit, we realized, oh my God, we missed the amazing 45-minute 3D movie we wanted to see. But we wouldn't be able to see that movie in time for us to make our bus back to the ship. And then also, there were like no shops open. There was
So outside there were a bunch of kiosks selling, junk food, burgers, hot dogs, whatever, and none of them were open. Everybody was out there looking for things that were open. The only thing that was open was a soda machine, and we don't drink soda, so we didn't have anything.
And there was like
We didn't have anything.
there was like one stand that had like fried onions and French fries. And we had to wait on a really long line to get like fried onions and French fries.
Yeah. For $1 bazillion.
So, and that was like one of the things we were looking forward to most on that cruise. So that was a huge letdown.
Yeah.
Which adds to it not being one of the worst cruises we've ever been on. But we still enjoyed that cruise overall.
Yeah. How was that food on that cruise? Do you remember?
Okay. So, number
Are we
2,
getting there?
we're getting there. We're getting there.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Number 2, what happened?
Lori got sick for a whole day. I think she got some kind of gastrointestinal thing.
I think I got the neurovirus, but I didn't know what that was at the time. Now I do because I've been on other ships with full-on breakouts where they put all the precautions in place and you can't share salt shakers or anything like that. But at the time, I didn't know what it was. I just felt neurovirusy.
So we spent the whole day in the cabin watching movies.
Yeah, so that was like one day gone.
Yeah.
So that made it not the best cruise.
But it was a good movie day though.
And then the final reason why our June 2017
May I explain
Norwegian Gem cruise was our least favorite cruise of all time was, wait, now I get to do the drum roll.
Oh man.
I get to turn around.
Okay.
Drum roll.
When you order surf and turf at a
No,
specialty
baby, you're
restaurant,
messing it up.
What?
No. Retake.
What?
This was... This was our very first cruise with no lobster. No lobster.
yeah.
Not even no lobster in the main dining room where, by the way, the first Gem cruise we did with NCL did have a lobster night. I know NCL just doesn't do lobster night anymore, period. They haven't for years. But not only did they not have lobster night, but at Cagney's, which is the pay-for restaurant, the surf and turf was filet mignon.
And shrimp.
Like one
Shrimp.
sad shrimp.
One sad shrimp.
They didn't even offer it anywhere for an extra
I mean, if
fee.
you're going to pay a premium price, sell us a lobster. You know what I mean? And I know. And NCL, we asked NCL, how come you don't serve lobster anymore? And this is what the maitre d' told us. He says, well, because it shrinks. I said, and he was looking. We were sitting on a table. I said, it shrinks. He said, yeah. And besides that, it goes bad after a while. And after having worked on cruise ships for 15 years as an entertainer with passenger status who could eat anywhere, I had lobster almost every night. I had lobster almost every night as I worked on these things year after year after year. And I know for a fact that lobsters not only don't shrink and they don't spoil, because they put them in the freezer. But
Listen. A lot of people watching this know Royal Caribbean still has a lobster night. Carnival Cruise Line still has a lobster night. Celebrity still has a lobster night. Princess still has a lobster night.
we had lobster on all those ships.
NCL doesn't have a lobster night anymore, and that was our first cruise without a lobster night, and we really like lobster.
And NCL is cutting back here, cutting back there, nickel and dime here, nickel and dime there. It's just,
Yeah. And remember, this is 2017.
And you pay a premium price to get on there, and then they nickel and dime you.
But we have been on an NCL cruise since then, and the food has gotten a little better. And they do have lobster now for an extra fee, which isn't ideal, but I'll take it, right?
Yeah, I'll pay for it. Yeah.
Well, anyway, there you have it. 2017 June Norwegian Gem Cruise was our least favorite cruise of all time. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button with the notification bell on. Also, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. We love hearing it.
And even if you didn't like it, give us a comment. Tell us what we can do better. What the heck, right? We'll answer. She'll answer.
Anyway, until the next time, Lori and Gary are signing out. Bye.
Later, guys.